Hello and welcome to chapter 76. Catching up. Sorry for that thing earlier, that weird hello. I was looking to see if my microphone is actually recording. I've been having a lot of issues with this SD card. I think I need to get a new one. Anyways, how have you been? I have been okay-ish. I don't think I will ever end a season on a happy note, like ever. I can win an Oscar and I will say, well, things could have been better. Because I am now deeply in the mindset that anything I mention on this podcast will fall apart. So, today we're going to talk about the filmography of Christopher Nolan. God. Okay. Anyways, it's been a while. It's been quite a while. This is the start of season 6. We've been doing this for 5 seasons fully, and this is our chapter 76. That's a lot of audio files, which I hope you do listen to. Anyways, we have a lot to do. We have a lot of catching up on a lot of different issues. But first, our drink today is Coke Zero. Like, it's probably the most bland drink I can have here, instead of water, which I had quite a while ago. But yeah, Coke Zero. There it is. I'm recording this at 3 p.m., which is unusual for me. I usually, for those of you who listen to this, record this at like ungodly hours of the morning. But today I'm doing it quite at a reasonable hour, which is weird. But we'll get to that too. Why I have all of my settings ready and everything ready to just record now instead of in the morning. Anyways, a couple of things. First of all, while we've been out, a couple of podcasts that I was a guest on were released. One of them is from Broken Bulbs. This one is about an incident I had while making a movie with my friend. If you listen to this on YouTube, and if not, you can go to the YouTube channel for this show. The movie is actually on this channel. It's called Good Night Dracula. It's in Persian, but it's there if you want to check it out. Secondly, the other podcast, if you remember back in let me check out the number, chapter 74 was one called I'm a Geeky Boy in a Geeky World, where I talk about I've been part of a podcast which was all about geeky stuff and I felt so invigorated by it. That episode is also out. There will be a link for both of them in the description, as well as another podcast. While I was out in the hiatus, I was part of another podcast that got released, actually. I was part of Editing Writing, which was a great podcast. Like, I really enjoyed it. We talked with Wayne Jones. It was a great podcast. We talked about a lot of stuff, and that episode actually came out a couple of days after we recorded it. A day or day and a half after we recorded it. So there is a link to that in the description as well. I do urge you to listen to all of them. They're all in different areas of talking, and like all of them are great. On that note, I actually recorded another podcast with Andrew Stamper of Stamper Cinema. There will be a link in the description to Stamper Cinema. I had a ton of fun. We talked about a peculiar movie, which when the episode is out, I'll tell it on this podcast. But we talked about Edward Scissorhands, and there is always a sense of great connection when you talk with someone about movies who know their stuff. Like they've watched a lot of movies, they can talk to you about a lot of movies. There is always a sense of brotherhood there. And Andrew Stamper was really good. Like, I can't tell you how good it feels when you mention a movie and the other person says, oh, I've seen it and I've had these thoughts on it, which is great, like incredibly great. And this was definitely one of them. Like, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about Tim Burton, mainly because it was a Tim Burton movie. We talked about movies in general. We talked about Bram Stoker's Dracula for a little bit, which I'll get there. And it was great. Like, I had a ton of fun. There will be a link in the description to Stamper Cinema podcast, as well as Editing Writing podcast pages that I do recommend you go and check them out. They're both incredibly fun podcasts. Whew. I told you there was a lot to catch up. Like I was kind of shocked how many stuffs happened between the seasons. Um, on that note, I hope you did listen to the last parts of Too Busy Mind, the special chapter, which was the fourth one. I talked with my friend Kamyab, and the name is I Wonder What Kamyab is Doing Tonight, which is, if you don't know, taken from a song from the musical Camelot. Oh god, Joshua Logan. Fuck Joshua Logan. Just throwing it out there. You'll know why, probably. And that episode was published 3 weeks ago, almost 3 weeks ago. Let me tell you the exact date because in Iran we have like different months than like the rest of the world, so it's kind of hard for me to say it without knowing. Like I have to start from the beginning: January, February, March, April, May, June. We are in June now. It was out on May 20th, and it was pretty good for. And I do recommend checking it out. If you haven't, go and listen to that one as well. But the thing is that I want to talk about is I got a comment about that on Castbox. I'm so sorry for that. On Castbox, and you know the drill. If you want, let me do the plug right now, like at the very beginning. If you listen to this on Anchor, you can send me a voice message on Anchor. Your voice message will be played at the beginning of the next episode, and you might shape a whole episode. If not, you can post a comment on YouTube, which I will read on this show, or on Castbox, which I will read on this show. And let's hope that things are doing great for you. Oh, I don't know why did I say that. I didn't know how to end that plug. Anyways, do talk to me. I do want to listen to you. I thought about if you listen to this on the Spotify, which I recommend. I don't like Spotify very much. But if you listen to this on the Spotify, there are like tools of asking questions. I don't know if I should use them or not. I don't know. I seriously don't know. I might. I don't know. Okay, so there was a comment on the special chapter 4, I Wonder What Kamyab is Doing Tonight, and it's, come on, why everybody hates health. It's a comment on how I said I live a very unhealthy life and health is overrated. Um, to be honest, it's one of those things that unless it messes up, you don't know you have it. Which I know, like it's an old proverb in Iran, and I know, I guess the rest of the world as well. At least you have your health. May you be healthy. There is a reason for that, like because when you're not healthy, you know that you've missed it. Like you have to just, not even something major. All you need is a headache, or like a stomach ache, or when you eat so much that you want to throw up and you feel nauseous. I had that yesterday. I was at a party. I ate way too much. But and we'll get to part of that, why that sounds very insensitive as well. But like when you have that ailment, when you're not feeling as good, that's when you know that you've lost your health, and then it will be, I will do anything just to feel healthy again. So yeah, I guess the reason everybody hates health is because it's the normal state, and you don't appreciate what you have. Only you appreciate it when you don't have it. Which I know is very, very melodramatic and cheesy, but honestly, I think it's the truth, I'm gonna take a sip of my Coke. Again, not living very healthy, am I? But health is overrated. To be honest, like everything I do wrong, I know it's wrong for my health. Like drinking sugar stuff, I know it's a bad thing to do. I don't know why I keep doing it. Part of my reasoning, part of my justification is that life is hard enough as it is for me. I cannot deal with not doing something harmful, I guess. Like some people have smoking, some people have drugs, I have sugar. Mine kills more people than theirs, but that is not important right now. So yeah, I guess that's why everybody hates health. um, so that was most of the catching up on the stuff that happened, and we are halfway through the episode. If you're a new listener, welcome to the last thoughts of a busy mind. It's not usually this hectic of just going through stuff that happened. It's usually just me whining for 20 minutes. Next week will probably be a little bit more eventful. This one is mainly just, oh, this happened and that happened. On that note, if you recall, one of the things I said in the last season, one of the main overarching plot lines, beside the Jafar Khan video which happened, was the Dracula video. I was going to make a video about Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and 4 adaptations of it. That has been postponed. A couple of reasons. I couldn't reach May 25th, was it? I think. Which is the date of Christopher Lee's birth, which was my deadline. I couldn't reach it. I procrastinate a lot. Basically, the whole project just ballooned up into a much bigger thing. I decided to do a lot of different stuff, a lot of different acts and like jokes and sketches. So it got ballooned up, and then I realized, oh, like I've already missed the Nosferatu deadline, and I'm gonna miss the Christopher Lee deadline. Is there anything stopping me from postponing this video, which is about actually a horror movie and a horror subject, to October? And so that's what I did. I postponed to October, which means there will be a much longer hiatus and delay between the Jafar Khan video, which is my last video, and the next video, which I don't know when it will come out. I even don't know what it's gonna be. But I guess that's life. Da na 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 na. Oh no, that's wrong song. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shut down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. You say that's life, and as funny as it may seem, some people get the kicks stomping on a dream. Okay, enough of that. Another thing is, throughout June, you might say, well, do another video. Actually, I do have a couple of ideas for a couple of videos, but throughout the June, I'm working on my anniversary video for August, which I know. Stupid thing to do. Like, thinking that from ahead, but I know myself. And this one is gonna be long. Like, it's about 30 movies. I'm gonna watch a movie each day, write something, and film myself. And I've been doing it for 10 days at this point. 9. Like, I haven't done it for today yet. But it's been to middling success, I guess. Like, some of them I really like. Some of the videos I feel like, oh, when I edit this, it's gonna look really good. And some of them I'm like, oh, it's not very good. But in any case, it's something that I'm doing. So it's taken a lot of my time and my energy and my effort, which is why I don't think I will be able to make a TGTBTI throughout June, unless I really get good at multitasking, which is, as we both know, not something I'm very good at least not at my current mental state. And I tell you why. One of the other things that happened during the hiatus was that my country, the great nation of Iran, has been completely out of control in a lot of ways. Like, there has been national tragedies, national propaganda efforts, massive inflation, and I do mean massive, like weekly inflation. What we had last week is like considerably more expensive this week. I know that because I ordered food out today, which is where I get the Coke Zero from. And like the price hike is unimaginable. The same thing that I had a week ago to the day. Like, I had that on Friday a week ago, and there is a price hike, and it's crazily anxiety inducing. Like I can't tell you how anxious I am, and so it feels like the it feels like living in Iran is always feeling like your life is out of your reach at all times, and right now it's gone even further, which is why I said it sounds insensitive, because I said I was at a party yesterday and I ate a lot. It made me feel like Marie Antoinette, let them eat cake, because the inflation isn't just hitting me, of course, it's hitting the whole country. And having a social conscience sucks. But I don't want to be a ghoul, so I have to think about this stuff and feel guilty and try to help it in any little way I can, which at the moment is literally nothing, because I can, it's not like, oh, vote for the guy who will bring down inflation. Even though this guy, our current president, is not my. I shouldn't get political here. Anyways, he said he would bring down the inflation. He didn't, which you all knew was going to happen. Like when it happened, we were like, oh yeah, that tracks. That tracks with this guy. Anyways, there was a national tragedy in a sense that a building in the city of Abadan was demolished due to poor, how do you say it? Poor repairs. Like they didn't do enough repairs on it. They didn't maintain poor maintenance. Poor maintenance. They didn't maintain the building well enough, and it sort of fell. It killed a bunch of people. It was again something that was completely foreseeable, something that was completely avoidable with proper maintenance, proper oversight, and enough of a care for people's well-being. It didn't happen, and as a result, understandably, people are fucking pissed. I am too. Like, I'm not gonna go into it. Just look up. There are people online who do these things way better than I do, talking about Iranian problems. And I do recommend you go and check them out. There are you probably, if you don't follow some Iranian people who you see are doing a lot more political stuff and are not the shills of the regime, if they were posting a song called Hello Commander, just block them and follow some more people, and they will keep you posted about what is happening. It's very bad, and as I said, when things are like this, I really don't have the mental capacity to multitask. Like I can't do the stupid stuff that I'm doing, like the June thing, which will probably flop. uh, Actually, I didn't have enough time to talk about it. I've been watching a lot of FD Signifier, which if you haven't, you should. There will be a link to him in the description. Let me write it down on my notes for you to go and check his channel out. And there was a video in particular where he talks about how his fans have submitted some video essays to him. And he's talking about them and like the quality of them, and a lot of stuff that he said is the stuff that I don't do. So it's like, oh, even if I'm putting all of this time, literally a 30-day period in one video, it will probably flop because I'm not good at everything else that make a video good. I don't sure if I'm even good at that. Again, insecurity. It's still there, people. It's still there, and it's still doing great. Like, it's still a massive issue. Anyways, I have less than a minute left. What other are we catching up? Oh, uni. Still a fucking mess. TGTBTI, I don't know when it will be out. I have an idea. I'm going to probably do one on the show, The Offer, the one about Francis Ford Coppola, The Godfather. Then, what other things? I'm doing this with June, which means I will probably be very tired at all times. I'm incredibly tired right now. And don't forget to send me a message on Anchor or post a comment anywhere. There are still weekly movie recs. If you want to go to the AK88 Studios channel, you know what? I'm going to post a link to that as well. Go and watch the movie recs. Like I recommend the movie each week. they are good. And you know, I don't know, follow me on Instagram. I don't know. Just I will see you next week.